Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems. We are getting ready to get started on our webinar this afternoon. It looks like we've got some great folks coming in already. I hope that you are ready to learn how we're going to help you find medical billing clients. So, James, it's good to see you already. So I appreciate the acknowledgement there. So appreciate that. Folks, I have to say, if you haven't had the time to go back and listen to last Wednesday's webinar with Adam and Salim, that was one of our interviews with one of our current business owners. I'm going to show you where to go there in just a minute, but I want everybody to kind of get in and kind of get settled in as we get started with the webinar this afternoon. So, because we're going to talk about some of the ways in which we've helped our licensees in the past, or our business owners in the past, and that what we're currently doing right now to help get you leads. Because obviously, when anybody gets into a business opportunity with anybody, obviously everybody's trying to figure out, okay, how do I get my first client? How do I go about seeing what to do and getting just really the first lead of anything. And then so that's what we're going to kind of deal with this afternoon. But for those that are, okay, so somebody just said that I'm cutting in and out. Hopefully, I don't think I've got anything on running in the background. So what I'm going to do is to make sure that I appreciate everybody, James, letting me know that. If it's still happening, please let me know. I may have to switch to calling in instead of doing this over the phone. Okay, so Nevin says sound good to me. So Nevin, as long as you're there, let me know, and if I need to, I'll switch to a phone audio. So just kind of keep me posted, everybody. I appreciate that. So let me, with that said, let's dive right on in here. Let me share with you where to go when you are wanting to go see and listen to other webinars that we've had in the past. So let me share this with you real quickly. So if you'll go to absystems.com/blog, you can kind of see that right up here at the top. It'll show you the latest webinar that we did. Now, this is the one we did with Salim. You can see here, I can kind of scrub through all of this. You can see that this is Adam and Salim having a discussion here. This is from last week. You want to go back and listen to this one. This was, I think, gosh, we had several people on this webinar. So go back over to absystems.com/blog. Listen to this interview that Adam did with Salim. And folks, Salim's been with us for quite some time. But even in this webinar, I think it's right around this 12-minute mark. I think he's talking about he just picked up a new client, a sleep doctor clinic, and he even goes to, even that he's been around, he still contacted support, and even through our private Facebook ABS business owner site, was able to help get some help on billing for that particular doctor there. So I just want to let everybody know, as we're kind of getting started here, don't forget our past webinars. Now, I'm going to show you at the end of today's webinar where you can go see all of them. You can certainly kind of scroll through here and kind of see, becoming an entrepreneur and ways you don't want to fail. And then what's the fastest way to launch your business in healthcare. So you're going to want to go back out and go view those. So those are incredible resources in between while you're reviewing this particular webinar. And then, but if you want to go back and listen to some others, this is a great opportunity for you to do that. All right, so some of you already know what the Q&A box is. Some of you may be brand new to this. Obviously, if you don't hear me, again, if I start to seem like I'm cutting in and out, please let me know. Obviously, all of us are running through the internet, and sometimes wherever we might live, depending upon how the bandwidths are going and everything else. So feel free to let me know. Also, if you'll go find the Q&A box for those that are on here, go over there and just type in from where you're calling in this afternoon. I like to kind of see where everybody's from all over the country here. So go put that in over in the Q&A box. That will also let you know where you need to ask me questions. And I expect you to ask me some questions this afternoon, because it's no fun with just me just talking with you for an entire hour. Let me know what I can do to help answer some of your questions here. So it looks like Athens is from Alabama. Good to see you. I appreciate you sharing that. So let's see who else we've got here. We've got folks from Pennsylvania, some people here from Los Angeles. Great. Some from right here in Texas. Good afternoon. Some other folks here and other folks in Texas, San Antonio, Dallas. Good to see some Texans here this afternoon. I was on a webinar last night, and we were trying to explain some other things that I was actually trying to learn, and I was asking the questions, and finally someone spoke up and says, well, look, I can answer his question because I speak Texan. So hopefully my Texas friends on here this afternoon are good. And then we got some folks here from Oklahoma, Illinois. Good to have everybody here. And I think I can clear all of this out here. So we've got Tim from Illinois, and gosh, we got people from all over the place. Good. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that. Let me know where you are located, and hopefully we're going to have a great time this afternoon. So I'm going to clear some of this out so I can, when you got questions coming in, I'll make sure that I've got the questions going on here. Got one more to go there. So I'm done with all the question box area. Again, my name's Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon. The rest of the team's out doing some things here, so you kind of got me solo this afternoon. So let me share with you a little bit for some of you. Some of you are brand new. Some of you I recognize your name. Some I don't recognize your name. So I know that we've got new folks on here. But let me share a little bit about American Business Systems. ABS has been around for 29 years, as some folks have already heard in the past. But if you're brand new, you don't know how long we've been around. So 29 years. And can y'all, I mean, everybody believe today's March 1st. I mean, this is amazing. We've already passed the first 2 months of 2023. But let me share a little bit about ABS as an introduction. The whole reason of what we do and why we do it, obviously, is in medical billing. I'm going to answer a question for you about here right in the very beginning. Is this profitable? Should I even be thinking about getting to this? Because, folks, anybody that's a business owner, an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, I don't think that ever goes away from any of us, whatever business we end up in. You got to know that, make sure that is this the right timing? Do I have the right tools? Is someone going to help mentor me? Is someone going to come alongside of me? These are the questions I'm going to answer for you today. And it all starts with the iClaim EMRx platform, which is powered for us by NextGen Healthcare. You can go find them out there. They're a very large company, been around for a very long time. We've actually been associated with them for over 10 years. They're our main go-to whenever it comes to a billing platform for our business owners here at American Business Systems. And you're going to learn all of that through our training class. And not only are you going to learn all of what you need to do, how to do billing and go get the clients, but all of what I'm showing you right now is completely included with your business licensing package here. We do not kind of pull things together and say, okay, now that you've got iClaim and EMRx, how about, would you like virtual care, or would you like some coding help, or would you like, to get involved in HIPAA compliancy or anything else like that? Everything that you see here, including more than what you're seeing here, is again all included with your purchase here and your investment here with us here at American Business System. Really, the investment that you're making is in yourself. We're going to be your coaches. We're going to be your mentors. We're going to be coming side by side you as you would go back and hear again from Salim from last Wednesday's webinar. Again, this guy's been around with us for quite some time and still getting support help from us. So there's no additional charge for extra support. You don't have to ask for us for additional support to add that would cost you anything. It is a one-time fee with us, just under $30,000. And I'm going to show you here in a moment how you can get your return on investment with just with one doctor here. I'm going to show that to you here as we kind of get started here. But let me tell you the history of American Business Systems. It all started with Patrick and Linda. Actually, it kind of started with Linda because she was approached by a doctor over 30 years ago to say, have you ever done medical billing? And if so, do you mind helping me? And Linda at that time was raising her two children, and I'll show you one of them here in just a moment. She was a homeschool mom trying to figure out how to bring in extra income to the family. And she goes, well, why not? I'll learn anything. And as long as I can do it from home, this would be great. And so she did. She took it up and found out that it was okay. It was actually making some money. Patrick saw it. He's an entrepreneur and thought, gosh, as a homeschool dad and wanting to work from home himself, he was already I think at that time, maybe had been working for Apple Computers here when they were actually located here in Dallas. But he was obviously trying to figure out a way to make a living from home. So why not? And so found out that this was good. And then, gosh, started sharing with families, their family, and then with some friends. And all of a sudden, the birth of American Business System all came about. So, it's kind of that old adage, you can give a man a fish and he can eat for a day. You can teach a man to fish and he's going to eat for a lifetime. And that's what you get from the Phillips family. Now, I mentioned to you that during that time when Linda was learning how to do medical billing and doing homeschooling and raising a couple of the children, well, one of the children that she was raising is now our CEO of our company, Adam Phillips. Adam has grown up in this his entire life. And so Adam is at the helm now. He and several of the other guys here at American Business Systems are leading and charging the way, keeping things new, fresh. You always want to keep up with what's going on here at American Business Systems. And folks, if there's any other new services that come up in the future, you'll already be grandfathered in all of that. So there's, again, nothing that if anything ever comes up that you need to another service that we provide here at American Business Systems, you don't ever have to pay for that in the future. Now, Adam not only is running the company, but he's also becoming an author like his dad. And Patrick writes prolifically, and then he puts things out in news articles and editorials. And Adam has joined that ranks of giving articles out to the Billing and Coded Advantage magazine. And so not only has he done that, he's also the head of an organization called MERMA, which is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. Now, this is the group that once you complete your training here with us, they are the ones that will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. So this is all good leading up to the question of really a question that I was thinking of as we were putting this webinar together today, is really getting down to the part where if you were to go get a training in just medical billing and you were to go work for someone, what would you earn of just being a medical biller? Now, I'm asking this question very specifically because what you're going to get here at American Business Systems is not just you becoming a medical biller. Folks, there are plenty of organizations out there that can teach you how to become a medical biller. What you're going to learn with us is how to become a medical billing company. Okay, so instead of just being just always the kind of the person that's the workhorse, although that those we do teach you that, you're going to learn how to be a business owner. That's why you're here this afternoon. That's why you're looking into it, because you're not just wanting to become an employee of somebody, but gosh, what can we do to help multiply what you earn? So Adam sent an email out to us this last week, and I thought I'd put this up here on the slide right here. It's really how much employees or medical billers will earn as an employee, because this is very important, because I'm sure a lot of you are asking, well, don't doctors already have a medical biller that they have already hired at their company? The answer is yes, with some of them. Okay, and we're going to do a cost an analysis on that and see if it's really wise for a doctor to do that. But let's first talk about the biller. Okay, so the biller has to go to school, and I'm going to share with you about how long that they do that. But across the board, now this is from AAPC. Now this is the one of the companies out there that does coding. Okay, so this is the American Association of Professional Coders. They came out just this last week with their 2023 medical coding and billing salary report. You can see that. So you can see for a certified professional biller, the average income of one of those is about $56,000, so almost $57,000. Now, to be a certified professional coder, which actually it takes a little bit longer to become, you can make a whopping $58,895 a year. So if you take all of the certifications, all these things that you see through here, you can see certified professional medical auditor and certified documentation expert outpatient. And those increase as they kind of go through. There's a certified professional compliancy officer. We'll talk a little bit about a compliancy officer in a moment, but you take all of those averages, take it from the lowest all the way up to the highest. The average is $67,000, $680 a year. Now, let's keep that in your mind. Now, what I want you to do after the webinar, make sure that you go back to your business coach that you're working with here at ABS, and make sure you get a copy of today's webinar, because down at the very bottom, that's the link that's going to get you to here. And there's a lot more information on that website there that you're going to want to go look at. But the reason I'm talking to you about that is first of all, let's talk about why this is important. Because I want you to think about the time it takes for you to become a medical biller versus the time it takes you to become a medical billing company. So with this, it would normally take you, and you can go do the research, depending upon what school, what group that you get with, it could take you as little as 6 months or up to a year and a half. So let's just kind of say, let's just average it out. Let's just say it's going to take you 12 months to learn how to become a medical biller. Now, some of you are going, gosh, okay, well, if it takes me 12 months to become a medical biller, how could I ever run a medical billing company? I'm going to share that with you as well, because today is how we help you find clients. I mean, this is important for you to know. So time it takes you to become a medical biller, 6 months to a year and a half. So let's average that out to a year. But with American Business Systems, how long will it take you to become a medical billing company? And it's really going to shock you, hopefully. It's going to be less than 30 days. Now, let me say this. Are you going to know everything about medical billing? Are you going to know everything about coding? Not necessarily, but that's why you have us here. Remember, let's ask the question, how long has American Business Systems been around? Okay, let's go back and review. 29 years. Now, how often do you need to get support or pay for support? None. You get that as a lifetime of support, which is support that helps you fill in the gaps when you need help. That's why I mentioned to you, go back and listen to Salim's interview. Salim's been with us for a long time, but yet he got a new client. He called support. He reached out through our ABS channels and found support of how to do billing for a sleep center. You don't have to know that to get the client. You don't have to know how to do billing to tell them that you can do their billing. Why is that? Because you've got 29 years of support that's going to help you, that's going to get you through every trial and tribulation that you may go through. And you don't have to go through the amount of years that it's going to take you to get to where you need to be in less than 30 days. I mean, we've got it all. We've got it taken care of. Now, remember, what was the average? Does anybody remember the average? Take all of the averages of certified medical billers all the way to a certified professional compliancy officer. Anybody want to type that in for me? Remember what the average was? Come on, somebody's going to do that. Come on out there. Hopefully you're listening to me. I'm not breaking up out here. Okay, 67,000, somebody said 67, 630, someone 67, 896. All right, some good answers there. What I'm going to tell you now is, what can you make with one doctor here at American Business Systems? So if you'll go out to our website again and go down at the bottom, as a matter of fact, let's just do that live. Let's just do this together. We'll go out to our blog again. So that's going to take us right back out here to American Business Systems. And we're going to go down to our first page here. And I'm going to take you down all the way down here. If you haven't found this yet, I'm going to show you exactly where to go. And once you get down here to, we got a lot of good things. Okay, so down here it says income calculator. So let's go there together. Okay, so let's go there together, and we are going to look at how much income can you generate with a medical billing business. All right, so we're going to do this together. So you can go in there, you're going to need a billing rate. Okay, so the average billing rate that we've seen now, it used to be 2 or 3 years ago, it used to be 6%, but it's averaging 7% right now. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to say the average claim amount. So let's just think about this through together. Typically, when you go to the doctor, it's going to cost you about $150 to see the doctor. So that's the average claim amount, but let's put that in there for now. All right. And folks, you can go play with these numbers all what you want to go do all the time. So you can go do this yourself. So the average number of patients the doctors will see in a day. All right. So if you've been to a doctor's office, you're thinking, gosh, doctors see a lot of patients. Now, once you get into medical billing and you kind of start working with doctors, you're going to know that they average anywhere from 30 to 40, seeing 40 patients a day. All right. So we're not even going to go that high. We're actually going to really lowball this down. Okay. And let's just say the doctor sees 25 patients a day. All right. So do you see the number there? Again, everybody's got their answers in there. 67, 66, 60. Look what you can do with one doctor. One doctor, you can generate $68,250 a year with a billing rate of 6%, with the average claim about $150, seeing 25 patients a day. And you go, oh, okay, Eric, it seems like we're blowing up the numbers here. So let's kind of average these out. But what I'm going to push up, though, we're going to get to where the doctors actually see about 30, let's say 32 patients a day. So let's bump that down to 6%. Let's bring this down to 100. And then let's bring this down, or let's push this up to 32 patients a day. So that's $49,000 right there. So you can see, you can go in there and play with this, and let's kick this back up to where I know that most doctors are seeing at least 35 to 40 patients a day. So you can see even dropping that down, it's still $60,000. But again, the average of what we hear from our licensees right now are these numbers right here. Let me back this up a little bit. Let's go right back down to there, and then we'll bring this back down to 25 patients. Again, that's $68,000 a year. So again, do you want to work for one doctor to get a salary of averaging? Remember that just the certified medical billers only are making about $53,000 a year anyway. So what do you want to do? Okay, so that's why we're here today. Let's talk about, again, on average, again, what we're making there. It's about $68,200. So again, let's multiply ourselves. Do we want to bill for just one doctor, or do we want to bill for multiple doctors? Because the average amount of doctors that our billers or our ABS licensees or business owners are billing, anywhere from 3 to 5, and that's without them ever having to go out there and hire staff. So what I just want to share with you today is, again, based upon an article that Adam sent to all of us this last week here, I thought it was really important for you to know that, gosh, do you want to go spend a year and a half trying to learn how to just become a medical biller, or do you want to join American Business Systems? And you're going to spend about the same amount of money to go out there and go get your education. Why not become an entrepreneur? Build a business yourself. Let us help you build a business and bill for more than just one doctor. Because if you take that 68,000, and folks, let's just again bottom it out. Let's say, remember, we pulled it down to 6% at $100, and at 30 patients a day, that's a $45,000 per individual doctor. Well, if you times that times 3, you're already at a 6-figure income, and still working about 6.5 hours a day. So folks, this can be done. So now I want to talk with you real quickly about what it's going to take for you to get that first client. Because without that first client going in that hole, like we're seeing right there, we have leads, we've got prospects all over the place, but we want that client to fall in the hole. That's what we want. That's what we want to help you get. So again, folks, understanding that servicing 3 doctors will be, let's just call it about 40 hours a week with that. And again, you're making a 6-figure income. So again, that's what we want to try to help you achieve. What's the first thing we've got to do? What we have to do is teach you to know what the doctor's pain is all about. Because without understanding the doctor's pain, we'll never figure out a way to solve that doctor's pain. And one of the best ways to teach you how to do that is to get you information. One of the books that you can go out and get, you can go get it on Amazon. I'm not here for you out there to go do that, but you can go out there and order the book, The Myth of the Rich Doctor, from Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, the reason I say that is because Dr. Rackner is a business partner of you once you become a business owner here with American Business Systems. You need your education. Folks, any entrepreneur out there will read any books. Folks, these are real bookshelves. and a lot of this is my business books that I've read over the years. People have given me books. I learned books. I've got this book here. I've learned how to what the pain of the doctor is. You've got to do that, because the last thing you want to do, go out there is try to go sell doctors on utilizing you as a medical billing company. You've got to understand what's going on with that doctor. ABS is here to teach that to you, and we're even trying to teach that to you on these webinars. So I think this book is less than 20, 25 bucks out there on Amazon. Go get it. That's a very inexpensive investment for yourself. Go get that book. The other book that you can get is The New Thriving Medical Practice. Now, this is one of the books that you're going to get when you become a business owner of American Business Systems. And this is going to help you to go, and I'm going to show you out there how you're going to use this to go find your first doctor. Because remember, the doctors need to hear from another doctor. That's why Dr. Vicki Rackner is one of the lead authors of this book. But you're going to find out that you are the one that wrote the foreword to the book. This is going to bring a lot of credibility to yourself. And this is how a lot of folks, even during the pandemic, got their first doctor. They didn't even get a chance to go out there and go market to anybody. They couldn't go knock on doors like you can go do this now. So what you're going to go do is learn how to do this. Now, I think Kimberly, did I miss the section on how to get these doctors as clients? Or is that information coming up? I'm answering that right now. So hopefully that you're here and we're getting all of that. So this is we're right in the smack dab of this. So now this book, and now folks, I'm not here selling books. I'm just letting you know a source and a resource of where to go get this information. Now, I think we've got a digital copy of The New Thriving Medical Practice. And if you kindly ask the person that you're working with here at American Business Systems, I bet you we can get you a copy of that. And because we know that knowledge is power, and it's powerful for you. And this is kind of our gift to you for being on the webinar today. I want you to have a good understanding of what's going on and where the doctor's pain really is. Because the last thing I want you to feel like you get off of this webinar is that you're having to go sell medical billing to a doctor. That's the last thing we want to teach you. What we're going to teach you is find the pain, solve the pain. Look, when we go to the doctor, does anybody need, if you got an ache or a pain or something not going right with you personally, do you need the doctor to sell you to go see them? No. If you've got a pain, something's not right with you physically, you're the one looking to go to the doctor. And that's what we want. We want the doctors to go look for you. And that's how we're going to help you to find your potential clients. What are your potential clients? Where are they? Where do you find them? That's what this webinar is about. Now, obviously, we're already at the bottom of the hour. We got 30 minutes, but I'm going to share with you as best as I can the tools that we're going to give you and assist you on finding these clients. Obviously, we can't do that in a full hour because it takes several hours during our training for you to get this question answered. And that's part of what you're going to be getting here with your training here. But it all starts with finding the right specialty. Now, remember, a lot of us, I think when we're getting involved in this, we're always just thinking, well, let me kind of go at the lowest hanging fruit out there. Maybe I can go find a chiropractor, or I can go maybe even find a primary care physician, or I can go find maybe some specialist that I know. But folks, any doctor or any medical profession out there that bills on what's called a CMS 1500 is a potential client for you. You can see anything from women's health to urology to dermatology. We have dental in there, but we've got a separate dental platform out there. But podiatry, that's a foot doctor. Neurology is something to do with the mind. Pediatrics, cardiologists, behavioral health, sleep studies, as you heard me say a little bit about Salim. So again, I encourage you to go out there and go listen to that webinar from last week, because he even talks about how he even came across that. But part of what we want to make sure that you do is, again, how do you find those clients? Where do you go? How do you go about it? How do I get those doctors? And again, I'm gonna kind of go back one more slide. One of the ways I'm going to show you here in the webinar is how to strategically use this book. Because I know a lot of you are out there, you might be, especially trying to learn something new, you might be a little timid of getting out there and talking with a doctor. Now, folks, we're gonna handhold you, literally handhold you through getting your first client. And as you'll hear at Salim, we still handhold you even after you've been with us for a long time, because we're going to make sure that you get your contracts right, that the presentation of the software is done right. We're going to make sure that your everything that you've done is done correctly. It's good because we want you, again, to find that potential client. Remember that it's kind of this design really kind of helps us, because obviously we need to figure out how to generate leads, turn those leads into prospects, and then finally turn those prospects into clients. That's what we're here to do to help you get that done. Now, part of that to do is to make sure that you have all the tools that you need. One is a professional website. As soon as you become an ABS business owner here, you're going to have a selection of professional websites to choose from. Now, what we're going to need from you is, what do you want to call your business? Obviously, we've got ABC Solutions up here. That's not the one that you're going to get. That'll be your name, but everything's built in there for your iClaim, EMRX, their Quick Collect, all of the services that I mentioned earlier up here in this other slide, you are going to get without having to ask or pay for extra money to get those things. They will all be built into your website already. Again, all that we need from you is your location. Obviously, you need to have a website address, a URL, and the name of your company, maybe your logo to put up over there. We're going to show you how to get all of that taken care of, but the guts and the everything and all the wording and the wordsmithing all been done for you. And we have several for you to choose from. And even with these to choose from, we can even tweak them a little bit, change the color, so it doesn't look like maybe somebody else that they may have come across. So all of that is going to be there for you as you are starting off in the beginning here. Now, I'm going to make sure I'm looking over here to my questions, so I want to make sure that I'm not dropping any questions here that may have come in. So let's see, I think I'm all up to date here. So, okay, good. So I want to make sure that if there's a question coming in that I'm not missing it over here. All right. So, so that's about the website. So let's kind of step back and talk about what we've already said so far. Number one, we can show you through here how to do multiple doctors. That's number one. So you can maximize and multiply the amount of money that you can make here. Number two, we're going to teach you and show you how to use proper tools with a proper professional website already built to get you to stand out from all others out there. Now, the other thing that you need is a complete superior support site or a support group. And as I mentioned to you earlier, Salim utilized as within the last few months, our support system. Again, this is nothing that you have to pay extra for ever. This is included as a lifetime. So you're going to want to go out to, once you become a part of American Business Systems, you're going to have direct access to what's called our licensee support site. Underneath there, it's got all the marketing things that we have, but a lot of that may not even make any sense to you until you go through the training. So the training course is going to show you how to market with the books, as you can see there in the very middle, marketing with books. You're going to have the medical marketing overview. We're going to show you how to use sales reps. We're going to show you how to use trade shows and expos. We're going to show you how to use your warm market. You may say, Eric, I don't have a warm market. I don't know anybody. That's okay. We're going to show you how to create that warm market, okay, for everything that you've got here. One of the ways that we're going to show you is how to really work business networking. Now, what you see in this is a very in-depth look at networking strategies for your business. And already some of you are like, I don't like to do networking. Folks, this is your business. And you need to let people know that you are in business. And one of the ways that you learn how people learn that you're in business is through, obviously, professional networking. Now, this is not what you would call a networking scheme where we're trying that has nothing to do with that. This is business networking. This is getting out to Chamber of Commerce's or BNI groups or meetup groups or anything along those lines where other business people are networking together. Our little community where I live has an incredible Chamber of Commerce, but there's also, spurred off of that, other meetup groups and other places to meet other folks. There's luncheons that are happening all the time. There's luncheons for women's groups. There's men's lunches. There's men's breakfasts that are happening. There's all different sorts of all different types of other types of meetups that are finding themselves out there, meeting together and sharing. So you may run across, let's think of it this way. Let's say that you run across a real estate agent in your area. Well, you may tell them, look, if you ever run across a doctor that you're selling a house to, let me know. I'd like to share with them about what we do here. And I'll do the same thing. If I run across a new doctor that's coming in, I may share with you, hey, this person's looking for a home and they need a real estate agent. And I'm just using that as a very small example. But that's one of the ways in which we're going to teach you how to help you find that first billing client. Because with longer gone are the days where you could just sit back, put up a website, get a couple of business cards, get some flyers, and kind of pass that around and hopefully get a doctor. Listen, everything's gone social media right now. We've got some great social media tips out there of getting doctors, whether it's through LinkedIn, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through even doing webinars like I'm doing right now. You can do that. We're going to help teach you. We've got all the slide decks to help you with that. All of that's done for you. So we are showing you the same techniques of what we're showing any of our other business owners how to get that. Now, here's one that you probably never even thought of. Again, what you need is recognition out there. And one of the ways to get recognized is for you to place a classified ad. We're going to show you how to do that. And you think, well, how can I do that? Well, one of the things is guess what doctors do? Doctors out there are actually through, what's that group? Indeed. Indeed, doctors are posting want ads for medical billers all the time. So we're going to show you how to apply for that as a business owner. Isn't that a genius idea? You've already found a doctor or a doctor's office that is actually soliciting for a medical biller. Now that's that person that's only going to make about $50,000 to $60,000 a year, right? That person they're going to show up for work every day, go into the doctor's office, and greet people as they walk in and do some of that. But that's out there. So the doctors post those, or the office manager posts those out there on Indeed, some of the other sites that are out there. Long gone, I think, are the days of, posting it in the newspaper. It used to be that way, but that's what doctors are doing now. They're posting out there, and we're going to show you during that training class how to capitalize on ads, classified ads that doctors put out there on these sites, these different sites out there on the internet looking for a medical biller. This is why you could actually land a doctor that's not even in your region. So if you're going out there, you go, gosh, maybe I live in Texas, but maybe I feel like the market might be flooded here in Dallas, which is not. But gosh, why not look for a doctor in Oklahoma City or one in Shreveport, Louisiana, or, Timbuktu, whatever. You could go look at those areas and find, and then submit your resume, quote unquote, but it will be as a medical billing company. Have our licensees or our business owners gotten doctors that way? Absolutely, they have. That's why we use that. That's why we use that particular technique. Again, the other way I mentioned to you already is warm market. And warm market is we're going to teach you how to use your warm market to get people for them to know that you're in the business. This is what you do. We actually have a presentation that you can share with people that you already know, your friends, your relatives, maybe other customers, some other coworkers that you might know of. It may be through a channel that you have done through BNI or through the Chamber of Commerce. Let's just say that you go to a Chamber of Commerce luncheon. Folks, you got to know that people are going to these luncheons all the time. You put food together, you're going to get business people together because they're trying to gather to meet up with other business owners in their area to try to figure out how they can increase their channels of getting the potential clients themselves. And then when you finally connect with somebody, that becomes another warm market for you. So we're going to show you how to utilize that warm market and say, hey, can I just take you to coffee one morning? I'd like to sit down with you. I want to at least share with you some of the pains that we have found as a medical billing revenue cycle management company. Some of these things that these doctors are challenged with. And why some doctors are trying to figure out, gosh, do I do billing in-house? Do I get it outsourced? Do I become an employee? And a lot of doctors are coming out of that employee mentality. They're getting out of it. Gosh, now do I go back to a biller in-house? Do I have that outsource? This market is so liquid. It is changing all the time. That's why it's important for you to get the word out about what you do. So we're going to show you how to build your warm market list. We're going to pull all of this information together and help you. We're going to challenge you to get your noodle going here on building your list, because our instructor here is certainly going to teach you, and not only teaches this, that when you go through that portion of the class, that portion of the training, your next visit with the live instructor here at American Business System, they're going to ask you, let me see your list so that we can start working it together. There's going to be accountability. That's the part that you don't get with a lot of other companies, because it's important for us for you to be successful. Because remember, folks, we don't collect any royalty fees. There's no franchise fees here. The only way that we make our continual money is on the back end with all of our technology partners, and when we start to use their services. And we make pennies on that every month from those. And that's how we continue to keep supporting you for a lifetime. Now, have we gotten there? Could we not have any other people that we sell to? Absolutely, because we're pretty much self-sufficient here and helping make sure that we continue to keep helping our current group of medical billing companies. But we can always add more, and that's a great thing that you can ride the wave on, because you never have to pay for support in the future. Use it to your advantage. But that's why we go in the depth of what we do during training. And that's why we hold you accountable as you go through training now, because we don't want you to sit through a training and at the end of the training, you go, okay, this was great training. I think I can do all this. You're going to have homework and things to do during that training so that we make sure that you know what you're doing. One of the other ones is what's called Lunch and Learns. And again, this is a great way for when you're going out marketing and you're talking with doctors. I promise you, if you go to any doctor's office right now, they have a lunch schedule already for their other vendors. If you do nothing else, just go get on the list. And you're going to get inside that doctor's office, bring in pizza, bring in something to share with that staff. And do that quite often to start building that trust factor, and they start to get to know you, and you get to make some presentations during that lunch. So we're going to show you how to do these lunch and learns, even some educational events. If you want to do some larger events, we've had some of our business owners do very large educational events. So that's what we're going to help you to do. So again, I'm going to look over here. I think Kimberly is saying, did you say that 3 doctors as clients would require about 40 hours a week of work? About that, Kimberly. So that's a little bit of, and if we get to the end, I might be able to break that down a little bit, because let me just do it for you right now. Typically, one doctor will take you about usually a minimum or average about 2 hours a day to do their billing. So that's what I'm saying. If you had 3 clients, it may take you about 2 to 2.5 hours per client to do that work. So if you got 3, obviously that's about 6 hours in a day's time. Gives you enough to obviously take lunch breaks and do all that. And so that's why I said about 3, because if you start getting other doctors, 4 or 5, obviously at that point you're going to start needing some help. So you might need to hire one of those medical billers that don't mind working for $40,000 or $50,000 a year. So got yours done there. Shirley says, do you help with a business plan and a good resume? Yes, absolutely. That's part of what you get here. We help you put your plan together to go out and market and get these doctors. And then for that resume that you might want to push out over there for the doctors that are looking for a medical biller, we already have those built and they're successful. So that's a great way of understanding that. Here's another question. Is 7% earned just for billing, or do we also help with collecting payments for the providers? So when you earn that 7%, you're earning 7% of what you help that doctor collect from all those insurance companies. And then there's some, with some of the other services like Quick Collect, there's actually more money to be made on top of that you can make based upon these other services. So we're just talking just medical billing there. So 7% is the average of what you're going to help these doctors, of what you help them collect from doing the insurance billing. All right, so let's get back to this. I'm looking at my watch here. We've got about 15 more minutes here. So let's talk about direct marketing. Folks, to me, this is one of the funnest parts of the business. At least for me, I like getting out. It's hard for me just to sit at home all the time, but and this is what most entrepreneurs like to do. They like to get out, go mingle with people, go out and go do a lunch and learn, or go out and to do just a chamber luncheon. Here's let me challenge everybody that's on here. We've got several people on here today. Let me just challenge you. If you can find your chamber of commerce where you live, okay, just find a local one. And I know that you may have a 40-hour-a-week job right now. So find out where you can slip out during a lunchtime at one of these chamber luncheons. Just go and just experience it. They'll let you in, and it may be a minimal cost for their luncheon or something like that, but go do that. Kind of understand how that's working and watch what other entrepreneurs are doing. This is a great education that you can get right now. Just go visit some of these, or find you a networking group that you can go to. Maybe one in the morning during a breakfast. Sometimes they have what's called after hours business times, business after hours in your area. So go do a little bit of homework. Go see if you can do that. Let's do this. Let's challenge everybody. Some of you have been on these webinars for a long time. When we do next week's webinar, I'm going to ask anybody, did you go out there and go find a chamber of commerce? Yeah, you may not be able to have attended it, but did you find your local chamber of commerce and at least when their next luncheon is? Just go challenge that. So I'm going to challenge everybody. I'm going to put some accountability upon you now. So go out there and do a little bit of homework, see where you might want to do some marketing in the future. Now, with direct marketing, this is actually going to the doctor's office, dropping off a card, or doing some things like that. But there's a strategic way of doing that by not just walking to the doctor's office and say, hi, I'm Eric, and I'm with so-and-so company. I want to leave my card for the office manager. We're going to help you ask the right question to actually get an audience with that office manager before you leave that office. Okay, so there's some strategic things that we're going to teach you in that training class to be able to get the attention of that office manager, so they actually come out of their little cubby hole somewhere, or if not, They may not be able to come out right away, but at least they'll give you a call. Okay, so we're going to show you some of those trade secrets in that training course. The other way that to help you build that is how to interview sales reps for you. Remember, there are already sales reps that are working with doctors already. Now, you can tap into some of those folks because some of them are independent reps. They don't work necessarily for a particular company. We're going to help you, show you how to find those folks and then do that kind of work and start working with them and tell them, hey, look, if you help me get an audience with a doctor, and whenever I sign with the doctor, I can pay you a commission out of that. Because where are you going to get that money? Again, through training, we're going to show you how to do what's called a setup fee with the doctor. That setup fee could be the commission that you pay the sales rep to help you make that introduction. You can see how we've already got all this worked out here. So we're going to show you how to leverage working with medical sales reps to get you that first doctor here. Now, as we kind of close out here, I'm going to kind of finish out here with what you need more than anything is credibility. Okay, so credibility is the name of the game when you get started here, because everybody that's on here today, if everybody that's on here today signed up today, and you wanted to go out there and show yourself right off the bat that you know what you're talking about here, obviously you need some help. And we're here to help because we're going to be joining alongside of you. Now, the organization that's going to help come alongside of you is the MIRMA group, okay? Not just ABS, because we don't want the doctors to go, oh, you joined AB Systems. They're just billing. You see where I'm going with that. So that's why we've created MIRMA for you, that you can say, I'm a part of MIRMA. We're the largest organization of independent medical billers in the United States. We do thousands of claims every day, and I'm just a local part of that here in my area. Not only am I a part of that, but I've also helped write the foreword to a book written by a doctor named Dr. Vicki Rackner, and I'd like to get you a copy of that book. That's the New Thriving Medical Practice book. That's why I said this is important, because what we want to do is help strategically put you together with a doctor and help you build instant credibility. That's why when you write the foreword to the book, we've actually had doctors call our ABS business owners and say, hey, I just read the book that you wrote. They completely forgot that all you've done is written the foreword. Now, we already have a templated foreword that you can utilize. You can craft it, make it sound a little bit more like you. You can rewrite it yourself, because we print these books on demand. Now, these aren't just ebooks either. These are real books, because nothing says real more than a real book. And we just don't want you to have just stuff, okay? We want you to have real books to build that true, incredible credibility out there as a certified medical revenue manager. So imagine your name being at the bottom of the book. And that's important. Now, there's also some books that Adam and Dr. Vicki have written called 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. Would this not get a doctor's attention? And you can see at the very top there, there's a big yellow sticker up there. And we've got that strategically placed because it's going to say compliments of your medical billing company with your website, with your phone number on it. And we're going to show you how to get these books into the doctor's hands and can even bypass the person at the front desk and also even the office manager. So we're going to show you how to do that. Now, hey, folks, Pamela wins. Pamela says, I'm going to my first event tomorrow in Arlington. She's going to the Arlington Chamber of Commerce. Okay, folks, we've got people who are active today. I got people that are ready to go. So listen, good for you. Kudos to you, Pamela. Go out there and just go experience what you can go out there with these Chamber of Commerces. So good for you. Talk about instant credibility. How about you have Dr. Vicki send a letter on your behalf to the doctor that you have found that you want. This is a letter. Once again, you become a business owner here at American Business Systems, you're going to have instant credibility because Dr. Vicki Rackner will introduce you to a group of doctors that you might be marketing to. That sounds pretty good. And works, and this works all the time. And one last thing that I'm going to share with you here is that during your training, you're going to learn the ways in which to mark up this book. Because look, the doctors just don't have a lot of time to sit there and maybe read, 150 to 160 page book. But what we're going to do is take you through the book and highlight these areas with these tabs so that when it finally does get into the doctor's hands, the doctor knows where to go to some very specific areas in the book that will draw their attention in there, and they'll start reading the rest. And that's where the calls start coming in and say, hey, look, I just got through reading this section of the book. You know what? I really do need some help here. So you're going to have superior credibility with national credibility, and that's why MIRMA is here, for you to be a part of the largest independent group of network of independent medical billers in the United States, and that's through MIRMA, the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. They're the ones that certify you. That's where you get the CMRM after your name, and that happens immediately you get through with our training, not a year and a half down the road. You're going to get that whenever you get through with training, which takes you about 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to handhold you again through the whole process, and we're going to make sure that you have your books in order, that they're ordered. All of your flyers. Let me show you the flyers here just real quickly, because I know that we're shortly running out of time here. Let me see if I can find that and pull that up here. Let's see where. Oh, here they are. All these different flyers. So we've got proven solutions with proven high quality marketing material for you. This is nothing that you're printing off on some printer, whether it's a laser printer. Laser printers are pretty good, but what you need is quality material. And this is high quality, heavy paper, weighted paper, glossy paper. And at the bottom of it, you can see, let's just take this one right here. It says Dynamax. There's a spot down there that we can move all this around. Again, put your contact information on there, your company name on there. All of that's going to be on there for you. Now, folks, I'm looking at the clock. I've got about 5 minutes left to go here. So let me just share with you towards the end, as you get a doctor ready to sign on with you or get the doctor's attention, we're going to show you how to walk them through what's called a practice analysis. This is where you're going to discover from the doctor where that pain is. Remember, at the beginning of the webinar, I mentioned we've got to figure out where the doctor's pain is. We do that by all the techniques that I've shown you today about how we help you get and find your first billing client. Then you're going to find out where the doctor's pain is. You're going to evaluate that, get these numbers, and then let this be the last thing that the doctor sees. And you can see this. This is currently up at the top. This is doctor. This is what you're currently bringing in. If we get an opportunity to do the billing for you, this is the potential of where we can help you. And you can see at the very bottom, we can actually, and with this one doctor, increase their monthly revenue by $10,000 a month. That's $122,000 a year. That's the difference of what we do versus any other type of medical billing company out there. Now, let me close up with this. Folks, we want to try to make this as pain-free for you. We do have an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, how long is your training? It's about 2.5, 3 weeks, which means you're going to get to go through the entire series of all the training and still have the opportunity to get your money back. Now, that is about the most reasonable thing that anybody could offer you in the world of entrepreneurship. Because with most companies, once you buy a franchise or once you get into a business opportunity, you can never get that money back. But we want to give everybody the opportunity, because you're listening to us on a webinar week after week. We want you to make sure that you're making the wisest and the best decision for you, and give you an opportunity to say, you know what? I jumped in the pool. Either I like what I'm doing and I can swim at this because I know ABS is going to be right along with me, or you know what? I'm not comfortable. I'm going to pull out and get my money back. And that's 100% of all of your money that you've invested here with American Business Systems for you. So what is your next step here? So the first thing that you need to do, for some of you brand new, have been on the webinar, go back and get with the person that invited you to today and ask them for the research guide. There's more information in this research guide than there is on our website. So you want both of them. So you can see some of the website stuff that we talked about today. Get that. The second thing you need to do, again, is go back and browse our YouTube channel, or go back to absystems.com/blog and watch these other webinars. The one that we just did with Celine. Don't miss that one. So go get that one. There's tons of them out there. Number 3, ask for the ABS reference list. Talk with people like Celine. Don't just listen to them on a webinar. Call them up, pick up the phone, talk to these people. They will tell you what their struggles were. Just ask them, what was your most challenging thing about getting your first client? I mean, we could tell you, but talk with these folks here. We're giving you the opportunity to talk with those folks. One thing I didn't really bring up much today is about the demo. If you'll go back to any of your business coaches here at American Business System, ask them to do a live demo for you. Now, why this is important is because this is the same format that we will do for you for your doctors. And remember, you could go through our training in the next 2 to 3 weeks, do your marketing that you need to go do, have a doctor ready to go, and then get back with us and say, hey, I got a doctor that's already wanting to see a demo. We're going to do the demo for you, whether it's 1 or 100, whether it's 1 this year or 2 more in the next year. There's no additional fee for us to do that. We will do as many as you need to help you land that first client or multiple clients. It doesn't matter. So ask for your own demo of the system. We're going to show you how we're going to help you close those deals. You're not just left alone to close a deal. That's what I'm saying. American Business System support team is here to help you close the deals. So the 5th thing that you need to do is get a copy of our purchase agreement. That's downloadable. I think it's all where you can be able to see that. And whenever you're ready to sign, you're going to sign everything electronically. And then whenever you're ready to get started, you can get your funding and training. Folks, you could get started training as early as next week. So we've got room. We've got people that we're training. We're wrapping up some of their training this week. So we've got room. We've got the bandwidth to get you in there. So we want to have that one-on-one with you. So I'm going to put this slide back up over here, right here at the very end. And it's got all of our contact information on it. So call us here at 866-565-8413. Give us a shout here at our website. Go to the website today. Go check us out. Go see what you need to do. But these are the steps that you need to take today if you're interested. Now, we've gone over about 1 minute today. So I think we got a lot of information, and hopefully today's webinar was good for you. I gave you some good information. I've got the question and answer box up here. Are there any last minute questions that anybody has? I'll see if I can stay on here just a little bit longer to take some of your questions if you got any. If not, I'll be kind of counting this down. Maybe somebody's typing in a question right now. I'm waiting for anybody, but hopefully today's been somewhat good for you. Hopefully it gave you a little sneak peek in how we're going to help you get those clients. Athens says, thank you for the info today, exclamation point. I appreciate that. Listen, it's our joy. It's our privilege to be able to do this. Just as a kind of a wrap up here with those that are still on here, I've been associated with American Business Systems for over this month, starting today, over 16 years. This is a great family to be associated with. What they say they're going to do, if they tell you that it's going to be a 30-day money back guarantee, we have seen that. And so you can take that to the bank. As a matter of fact, it's actually in writing in the purchase agreement. So at least get a copy of that. Arch Anna says, thank you for the webinar. Very informative. Thank you. Appreciate that. Listen, I'm going to sign off now, folks. Everybody have a great day, a great upcoming weekend. We're going to give you some more information next Wednesday. I hope that you can attend, but go back and get with your business coach here. Ask for the things I mentioned to you, especially just for the slide deck. Go get it. That's in a PDF out there. They'll be able to get you a copy of that. And we'll be happy to help give you as much information. So we look forward to talking with you. James says, have a great day. Thank you. And I appreciate everybody staying on as long as you have this afternoon. Y'all have a great day. If I don't see you or talk with you before next Wednesday, we'll see you next Wednesday. Everybody have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.